Ladies and gentlemen, dear sisters, dear hearts, what does it really mean to be a high-value woman? I see many of us chasing glamour, chasing looks, chasing applause, thinking that these will tell us that we are valuable. But let me tell you a secret. Value is not what the world sees. Value is what the world doesn't see. Have you ever wondered what it really means to be a high-value woman? Many people think it's about wearing the latest fashion, having a perfect appearance, or earning admiration from everyone around them. But let me tell you something, that kind of value is temporary. True value, the kind that lasts a lifetime, is not measured by what people see on the outside. It is measured by what you carry within. It's the integrity, the self-respect, the kindness, and the purpose that live quietly in your heart. And it is these unseen qualities that make a woman truly high-value. Think of a great tree. You walk past it, and you are drawn to its branches, its leaves, the shade it offers, but do you notice the roots? Deep underground, strong and silent, holding the entire tree in place. Those roots are invisible to the eye, yet without them, the tree will fall at the first storm. Similarly, your inner values are your roots. They give you strength when life's storms arrive. Your courage, patience, compassion, and self-respect are what will keep you steady when the world tries to shake you. To cultivate that inner strength, you need to spend time with yourself. Reflect on your actions, understand your worth. A high-value woman knows that her happiness cannot depend on others' opinions, approval, or applause. People may criticize you, underestimate you, or judge you unfairly, but if your sense of self-worth is anchored within, no storm can uproot you. True value comes from self-awareness and self-respect. It comes from knowing your purpose and living it, not from chasing validation from the outside world. Another thing that makes a woman truly valuable is her ability to give. You may have all the beauty, all the talent, all the success in the world, but if your heart is not generous, if your life does not uplift others, your value remains incomplete. Kindness, empathy, encouragement, these are the things that leave a lasting mark on the world. Every smile you share, every person you help, every word of encouragement you give is like planting a seed. And one day, these seeds will bloom into respect, love, and fulfillment, not because you demanded them, but because you earned them by being truly generous and kind. Being a high-value woman does not mean being perfect. It does not mean never making mistakes or always being strong. It means being authentic. It means learning from your failures, growing through challenges, and lifting others as you rise. It means living with purpose, making your inner light shine so bright that it illuminates everyone around you. When you cultivate your roots, nurture your heart, and live with integrity, you will not just feel your own value, you will create value in every life you touch. Remember, the world will often tell you that what matters is how you look, how successful you appear, or how popular you are. But the real measure of worth is how strong your roots are, how kind your heart is, and how purposefully you live your life. So focus on your inner growth. Be strong, be compassionate, be wise, and above all, be yourself. That is the secret to becoming not just a high-value woman, but a woman who inspires, uplifts, and leaves a legacy far greater than anything seen on the surface. Have you ever paused and asked yourself, what does it truly mean to be a person of value, especially as a woman living in today's world? Many believe it lies in appearances, in the outfit, the hairstyle, the likes on social media, perhaps even in the compliments you receive or the attention you attract. But I believe, and I urge you to believe, that those things are only the surface. True value is something deeper. It's not defined by what others see. It's defined by the strength you carry quietly in your heart and soul. Picture a tall, graceful tree standing in the middle of a valley. You see its leaves shimmering in the sunlight. You feel the cool shade under its branches. You admire its height, but you never see its roots. Those roots run deep, anchored in the earth, unseen, silent, strong. Without them, even the mightiest tree will topple at the first sign of a storm. In exactly the same way, a woman's worth is grounded in her inner roots: self-respect, integrity, compassion, inner strength, and purpose. These roots may go unnoticed by many, but they make you unshakable. To cultivate those roots, you must spend time with yourself, reflect, slow down, listen, understand your own heart, recognize your own emotional and spiritual value. When you anchor your identity in what you feel inside, no external opinion can destabilize you. There will always be people who comment, compare, judge, sometimes unfairly, sometimes abruptly. But when you know your worth, their words become mere echoes. What matters is not the applause, but the confidence that you walk forward with dignity and self-respect, regardless of what the world expects you to be. Beyond that, being valuable has another dimension: the ability to give. Beauty, talents, success, they may open doors, but kindness, generosity, empathy open hearts. A smile offered in a difficult moment, a hand extended to someone in need, a word of encouragement when someone feels low, these small acts create ripples. Every time you lift someone, you prove that your value isn't just for yourself, but for everyone around you. And in giving, you grow richer not in material wealth, but in character, compassion, respect. You become a beacon, not by the shine on your exterior, but by the light within. Being a person of high value doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you never stumble or never feel uncertain. On the contrary, it means you rise again. You learn from your mistakes, you heal, you become stronger. It means being vulnerable yet courageous, honest yet kind, determined yet humble. It means walking through life not for applause or recognition, but for truth, for growth, for meaning. It means building a legacy not of fleeting fame, but of lasting dignity and impact. One day, when you look back, you might realize that the most beautiful thing wasn't the dress you wore, or the praise you received, or the popularity you gained. The most beautiful thing will be how deeply rooted you were, how kind your heart became, how many lives you touched, how gracefully you handled storms, and how firmly you stood in your own value, no matter the noise around you. So believe in yourself, tend to your inner roots, honor your own spirit, choose compassion, integrity, and purpose over vanity. Let your life be guided by values that stand firm through seasons, by kindness that softens hard hearts, and by courage that rises even when the winds howl. That is what it means to be truly valuable to yourself and to the world. Have you ever stopped to think about what it truly means to be a woman of value? Many times we are told that worth is measured by beauty, by achievements, by recognition, or by how others perceive us. But I want to share something with you. The real measure of value is not visible to the eyes. It is silent, quiet, and often invisible. It is felt in the strength you carry within, the way you treat others, the integrity that guides your choices, and the purpose that fuels your life. Imagine a tree. You see its branches swaying in the wind, its leaves dancing in the sunlight, and perhaps you are drawn to its shade. But the roots, hidden deep underground, remain unseen. Those roots hold the tree steady, keep it nourished, and allow it to grow tall. In the same way, a woman's true value is grounded in her inner strength, self-respect, compassion, and clarity of purpose. These are the roots that will hold her steady, no matter what challenges life throws her way. To become a high-value woman, it is essential to invest in yourself first. Spend time reflecting, understanding your own thoughts, emotions, and desires. Know your worth, not based on applause or recognition, but based on your own inner compass. There will always be voices that try to pull you down: criticism, judgment, comparison. But when your value is rooted in self-awareness, these external opinions lose their power. You begin to stand firm, confident, and resilient. Your peace does not depend on anyone else. It comes from within. Another key aspect of value is the ability to give, to uplift, and to contribute. A woman of worth does not only focus on herself, she spreads positivity, compassion, and kindness. A helping hand, a listening ear, a word of encouragement, these may seem small, but their impact is enormous. True value grows when you help others grow. Every act of kindness you perform strengthens your roots, lights up your heart, and inspires those around you. Generosity of spirit is what leaves a lasting impression, far beyond any material accomplishment or superficial praise. Being a high-value woman does not mean being flawless. It does not mean you never make mistakes, never feel fear, or never experience doubt. It means embracing your imperfections, learning from your experiences, and continuing to grow. It means facing life with courage, patience, and grace, and showing empathy and understanding to others along the way. It means being authentic, staying true to your principles, and letting your actions reflect your inner strength. When you live like this, you create a life of meaning, influence, and lasting impact. You do not merely exist to be seen or admired. You exist to inspire, uplift, and transform. The world may offer temporary praise for external beauty or accomplishments, but the mark of a high-value woman is timeless. It is the quiet confidence, the inner resilience, the love and compassion she spreads, and the purpose with which she walks through life. So nurture your inner roots, embrace your strengths and vulnerabilities, and let your life be guided by kindness, integrity, and purpose. In doing so, you will not just be a woman of value, you will be a woman who creates value in every heart she touches. Have you ever wondered why some people, despite having everything the world admires, seem incomplete, while others, with very little, radiate a sense of dignity and purpose that draws everyone to them? The difference lies in value, true value. And when we speak about a high-value woman, we are not talking about outward appearances, possessions, or social status. We are talking about something far deeper, far more lasting, the kind of worth that comes from within. Think about a diamond. Its brilliance is not just because of its sparkle, but because of the strength and clarity inside it. A high-value woman is like that diamond. Her shine comes not from the approval of others, but from the integrity, self-respect, compassion, and purpose she carries within. These qualities may not always be visible, but they influence every word she speaks, every action she takes, and every life she touches. To cultivate this value, one must begin with oneself. A high-value woman invests time in understanding her own heart, her own thoughts, and her own emotions. She reflects on her actions and learns from them. She understands that her worth is not dependent on others' opinions, approval, or applause. Life will always present challenges, criticism, setbacks, disappointments. But when your sense of self-worth is anchored within, these storms cannot shake you. The world may throw judgments or comparisons your way, but you remain grounded because you know your roots are deep. Inner strength, however, is only one part of value. Equally important is generosity of spirit. A high-value woman uplifts those around her. She gives without expecting in return, she encourages without seeking recognition, and she listens without judgment. Even small acts, a smile to someone feeling low, a word of support to someone in despair, have a ripple effect that spreads far beyond what she can see. By helping others grow, she grows herself. By spreading positivity, she strengthens her own roots and inspires those around her to do the same. Being a woman of value does not mean perfection. It does not mean never feeling fear, doubt, or sadness. On the contrary, it means embracing your imperfections and learning from them. It means being vulnerable yet resilient, compassionate yet strong, ambitious yet humble. It means making choices guided by principles, living with intention, and ensuring that every action reflects your inner values. A high-value woman stands firm in her dignity. handles challenges with grace, and continues to move forward even when the path is difficult. At the end of the day, the true measure of value is not in external achievements, accolades, or recognition. It is in how deeply you are rooted in integrity, how genuinely you care for others, and how purposefully you live your life. When you nurture your inner self, cultivate kindness, and embrace your unique strengths, you do not just become a you woman, you become a source of inspiration, a light for others, and a legacy that lasts far beyond the fleeting moments of praise or attention. Have you ever noticed how some people, no matter what life gives them, seem to carry a quiet strength that draws others toward them, while others, despite all their achievements, seem restless and unsatisfied? That quiet strength, that sense of completeness, is the hallmark of true value. And when we talk about a hive, you woman, we are not talking about the clothes she wears, the social media likes she receives, or even her external accomplishments. We are talking about the depth of her character, the clarity of her purpose, and the strength of her heart. Let me share a thought with you. Think of a river. From the surface, you see the sparkling water, the gentle flow, perhaps the occasional ripple. But the real strength of a river is beneath the surface, the unseen current, steady and persistent, guiding the river's journey toward the ocean. A hive, you woman, is like that river. Her true worth may not always be obvious to the world, but it shapes everything she does. Her kindness, integrity, and self-respect are the currents that guide her actions, relationships, and decisions. The first step to becoming a woman of value is self-awareness. Spend time understanding yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, and your purpose. Reflect on your actions and learn from them. You woman does not allow her happiness or self-worth to be dictated by others' opinions. Life will always present challenges, criticism, failures, and misunderstandings. But when you anchor your identity in your inner values, external judgments cannot shake you. You remain grounded, confident, and resilient because you know that your roots are deep and unshakable. But inner strength alone is not enough. True value also comes from the ability to give, to uplift others, to spread joy, and to inspire. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, has a ripple effect. A gentle word, a helping hand, a listening ear, these may seem insignificant in the moment, but they leave an impact far greater than any material success. By helping others, you not only strengthen their lives but also enrich your own. Generosity of spirit is a hallmark of a woman whose value transcends superficial appearances. Being a hive, you woman, does not mean being perfect. It does not mean you will never falter, feel fear, or experience self-doubt. On the contrary, it means embracing your imperfections and learning from them. It means being courageous when life is uncertain, compassionate when the world is harsh, and humble even when you achieve success. It means living with intention, making choices guided by integrity, and letting your actions reflect your inner values consistently. Ultimately, the true measure of value is not in external validation, accolades, or recognition. It is in how deeply you are rooted in your principles, how genuinely you care for others, and how purposefully you live each day. When you cultivate your inner self, nurture your heart, and act with kindness and integrity, you do not just become a you woman, you become a source of inspiration, a beacon of light, and a legacy that touches countless lives, far beyond the fleeting attention of the world. Thank you. May each of you blossom from within, grow tall, and shine not because of the light on you, but because of the light in you.